All right, it has been 10 years since 18-year-old Michael Brown Jr. was shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri.
And tonight, CBS is taking a look back at the incident and the events that followed in a special called 13 Days in Ferguson.
Yeah, it features comedian Cedric the Entertainer and Captain Ron Johnson, who is tasked with leading the efforts to diffuse the violence. Both those gentlemen joining us live this morning to discuss the special. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning.
First of all, Cedric, I want to start with you. How do you two are friends? How do you two know each other? Because I know you're both from the area.
Yeah, we both grew up in there. We met in our college days. We were both a member of the same fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. And, we were young men in college age, met and became friends and been knowing each other throughout, our lives from there.
Captain Johnson, what was it like for you when these events were unfolding, 10 years ago? I would imagine, because you were tasked with kind of helping to end the violence, if you will, and the disruption, but you also, I would imagine, empathize with the anger of the people. How did you walk that line?
I always tell people, walk the middle of the road. And of course, the middle of the road is the toughest part of the road. It's kind of where the rumble strips are. But I thought I had to walk the middle of the road and try to bring both sides together in a peaceful way. And so that was my task, and that's what I chose to do, and I thought that was a better way to bring peace.
Cedric, you're a very busy man. I see you on everything. You do all the stuff. Why was this project so important? Why was it so important to do?
I mean, we still deal with so much of this in our communities right now. I mean, even just recently with Sonia Massey, that the idea that this kind of violence, this unwarranted and excessive violence towards Black people from police, it just feels like something that we had to continue to make a story. Mike Brown was very true to us. Ron and I grew up near that area. We rode up and down those same streets. Knew the community where the young man grew up. He was from a different generation than us, but 10 years later, we felt like people still need to understand how this affected us and how we are, trying to figure out how to get through it and build from it.
How has it affected the people of Ferguson and the surrounding areas 10 years later? Do the people feel safe? Has the relationship improved with police there at all?
I think the relationship has improved somewhat. There's been quite the turnover. I think there's only 4 original police officers that are left with the department from the Ferguson days, but there's still a lot of work to do. And so I think as long as leadership is trying, they've had several chiefs, and I think they've all have made an impact, but there's still work to do there and across our country, like Cedric has said.
Cedric, what was it like for you to watch that when it unfolded 10 years ago, and what was it like to go back?
I was in Los Angeles at the time. It was, again, I knew the streets. You knew exactly where they were when you see buildings go on fire, when you see, tanks in the street. These things, this kind of overly militarized energy on your streets. You knew exactly where the people were standing. And so, I think that going back there, it was really, you could feel it. We went to where Michael Brown laid in the street. We went to that neighborhood. You see the quietness of it when people are there just kind of living and just kind of imagining how much anxiety there was that day when, they just see this young man laying in the street for 4 hours. So those kind of things are very chilling when you go back to and stand in those spaces.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cannot wait to watch this. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's an incredibly powerful story. 13 Days in Ferguson is what it's called. It airs tonight at 9 o'clock here over on CBS 13. Captain Ron Johnson, Cedric the Entertainer, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you, fellas.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right.